range of motion because it's going to allow you to push to the midfoot. If you're having trouble or lack flexibility in things like the long lunge or the normal split squat, this is going to provide more range and more activation of the midfoot. So there's just going to be more stretch and emphasis on the soleus, and you're just going to get a more stretch in the Achilles overall. So this is really help you with your squat and your ankle range of motion for that. So ideally, you want a couple surfaces that are elevated off the ground, but almost the same height, if not the same height. If you don't have access to that, then at least having something that is high enough to get the range of motion necessary on the front foot is what you're looking for. And then something that you know is hard to press into. You don't want like one of those flat boxes or a Bosu ball or something where it's just going to give way. You actually want to feel your midfoot pressing into whatever it is that surface. So what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself up like this. This back leg is simply just for support. And so maybe bringing this a little bit closer. And so all you're going to do is, if the weight is more to the side, you're probably going to get more stretching the hip flexors and hips. But if you're holding the weight out here, or holding the weight in a goblet position, or maybe like a front rack position, you're going to feel it more in the midfoot. So either way, the more center of gravity that you can place over that midfoot, the more stretch in the ankle you're going to get. So we're here like this. We're here. It's simply just a split squat, but we're allowing the knee to come forward, and we're focusing on, again, think about there's like a nail at the bottom of your midfoot, and you're trying to use your midfoot as a hammer, pressing that into the ground. So notice here we're in this really deep position, and it's kind of like the long lunge, except the long lunge is if your hip flexors aren't flexible enough, notice you're getting more of the front foot. So we really want to focus on this midfoot here, and we want to keep the shoulders in line with the torso, and that's going to allow us to get that stretch back here in the Achilles and in the ankle. So we're here like this, and let's say that you didn't have access to this, or this wasn't high enough. You can still do it, but the only problem is if you're here, there's a tendency, if you're farther back like this, just to allow this to happen, where this is completely vertical. So when you're elevating the back foot, it allows you to get into deep knee flexion, and that's going to put more emphasis on that midfoot. So you can be here like this, but just know that there's more emphasis when you elevate that back foot. So that is the elevated split squat.